And we're following breaking news involving Stormy Daniels. She has been released from jail. Police arrested her overnight while she'd been performing at a club in Ohio. According to a police report, when customers gathered around the stage, she forced them into her chest. Now in Ohio, it's against state law for customers to touch performers. And then some plainclothes cops approached the stage, and Daniels reportedly touched those officers as well. So you see her mugshot there on the right side of your screen, but she is now out on bond. Her attorney says the charges are, quote, bogus, and this has been a politically motivated setup. He says Daniels will plead not guilty in court tomorrow. Daniels is currently suing President Trump over a non-disclosure agreement and alleging filing an alleged fling, I should say, that happened before the 2016 presidential election.
Now, the president right now is in Brussels for a NATO summit meeting with world leaders of 28 other member nations. And this morning, President Trump has told those allies that he is extremely unhappy with defense spending, saying America has upped our commitment. Right now, Tennessee Senator Bob Corker is reacting to the president's latest comments.
The rhetoric to me is damaging to us and damaging to others unnecessarily. I absolutely agree on the substance, but I think there are ways of communicating with your friends, and sometimes it feels like we punch our friends in the nose and hold our hand out to people that are working strongly against us.
After today's emergency session of this alliance, President Trump says the U.S. commitment to NATO remains strong. He also, and I'm just going to go over a couple of points that have come in over just the last little bit here, says that they have raised an additional $33 billion in defense spending among the NATO nations, that Germany is agreeing to do a lot better, that NATO is stronger than it was 2 days ago. So Fox 17 News will keep you posted as we learn more coming out of this session this morning.
Now, after the NATO summit, President Trump will be on his way to the United Kingdom for his first visit as commander-in-chief. Tonight, he'll be joined by British Prime Minister Theresa May for dinner at the birthplace of Winston Churchill near Oxford, England. President Trump will be steering clear of London, where protesters are planned to be today. Organizers have permission to fly this 20-foot blimp over Parliament, portraying the president as an orange crying baby. In anticipation of possible violence, the U.S. Embassy is encouraging Americans in London to keep a low profile. President Trump will meet with Queen Elizabeth tomorrow at Windsor Castle. That's about an hour outside of London.
New this morning, the U.S. is on pace to leapfrog both Saudi Arabia and Russia to become the world's biggest oil producer. The latest information coming from the Energy Information Administration says U.S. oil output will grow again next year to about 12 million barrels a day. That would make the U.S. the world's #1 producer.
6:15 is the time, and looking ahead, smoking will be banned at public housing nationwide starting at the end of the month. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, says you won't be allowed to smoke within 25 feet of any public housing. The idea behind the new rule is to cut down on maintenance costs and lower the risk of accidental fires. The ban goes into effect July 31st.
6:16 is your time right now. Your Skywatch 17 forecast. Scotch. No, Skywatch 17 forecast. Good morning. Maybe I need some. Who knows? Hey, a live look here in Dixon. A beautiful shot for you this morning. Part of our Skywatch 17 camera network, sponsored by Kentucky Downs. Seeing some blue skies there. Happy Thursday to you. Oh, man, this is a really cool shot, too. Look at that sun. And look how cool that looks when it just has that beam shooting out of the bottom of it. Looks like something out of a movie or something. Either way, right? What? Star Wars. Okay. I knew AJ would have something. I was thinking that thing in the Lord of the... anyway. All right. 75 your temp right now, Nashville. 70 in Mount Juliet and 73 Franklin and Brentwood as you step out. Hey, you want to hit the links today? A little bit better opportunity to do that only because we'll see less of a chance of storms. 89 by about lunchtime and into the lower 90s. It's going to be a hot one out there, so an early 9 is going to be a little bit better for you. Our forecast for the day, mid-90s. A little bit drier today. Not much in the way of humidity, or at least a little bit less humidity is what I'm saying. And a stray storm is going to be possible to the south here of Nashville, down toward the Tennessee-Alabama border. We talked about National Pecan Pie Day, but in 52 days, it's Labor Day. How about that? 52 days out and only 71 days until autumn. We talked about it earlier this morning. 2 weeks from today, training camp starts for your two-tone blue right here in Nashville. Now, the muggy meter for today, it's going to come down a little bit. Remember, we were in the gross category yesterday. We're still in the a little sticky level for this afternoon. And we will see those heat index numbers that will be in those mid to upper 90s. Remember, this is that feels like temperature. So the temps will be in the mid 90s and it will only feel like we're in the upper 90s. Some of us may feel like right about 100 degrees here for today, but it's nothing extreme. And in fact, the next couple of days, we're going to see even some drier air move in to the area as well. Now, as for those storms, where we're going to see some of that, as I mentioned, right there along a stationary front to the south of Metro Nashville down toward the Alabama border through about 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's where you're going to see some of those clouds building up with the potential for a couple of those pop-up storms. Other than that, everything else is dry, and especially as we get into Friday, more of us will see that drier air that will work in through Friday afternoon. So plenty of sunshine. Saturday, we get more in that kind of more humid type atmosphere. We're going to see a little bit more of that moisture stream up from the south, so giving us a chance of a stray storm on Saturday afternoon, and then a better chance is going to be Sunday afternoon and as you head into Monday as well. That will be when we get back into that daily thunderstorm chances that we'll be talking about. Here's your extended forecast. Remember, these numbers are going to be in the mid 90s for the next 3 days, so that's hot, and that is above average for this time of year, even with a little bit less humidity. But Saturday is going to be more humid, and we'll see some more of those widespread triple-digit heat index numbers that we've been tracking as well. And as I mentioned, a few more storms into Sunday and Monday early next week. Sam, what's going on?
Right now it is 6:19, and those of you coming in from Hermitage, the Donaldson area, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, anybody taking 40 West, heads up, you may want to avoid this crash. I-40 West at Briley Parkway just as you cross under Briley. Look close under the bridge here. You can see looks like they are working in that far right lane. We are seeing a little bit of congestion and a backup here, so easy. You're steer clear detours for this. You've got a few options. Instead of taking 40 West, if you're able to use Elm Hill Pike or even Lebanon Pike, which is 70, both of those travel west into Music City. Those are two good options, and if you don't use it today, keep it in your back pocket for another day when we see an issue on 40 West on the east side of town. Coming up in 10 minutes, a look at your 6:30 steer clear drive times on Fox 17 News this morning.
A secret app for Target customers. How the company is working with regular people to design its newest products. Free cash, no strings attached. We'll tell you about the first of its kind experiment in the U.S. trying to alleviate poverty. You're watching Fox 17 News this morning, your only local news source from 7 to 9. Skywatch 17 weather, steer clear traffic every 10 minutes.